That is Nigeria. We're celebrating the wrong thing here. And it's time to tell you people, the young people who are following us politicians, you're hurting your future. Has nothing to do with any of us. This is a criminalized place. Unless you fight and take back your country, you're finished.
Why is it that in other countries citizens resist bad government, but here in Nigeria we celebrate the very thieves destroying us? That was Peter Obi's cry in his latest speech, and honestly, he is right, because Nigerians have become the kind of citizens who accept whatever is thrown at them, no matter how bad. Instead of making leaders fear the people, it is now the people who fear the leaders. And once again, Peter Obi is revealing another bitter truth. He said Nigerians keep praising the same people they should be kicking out of office. In other countries, when the government fails, citizens rise up, they resist, they demand better. But in Nigeria, even in the middle of suffering, we defend those leaders, we clap for them, and even call them heroes. Think about it, people who cannot even afford 3 square meals are the same people that are praising the leaders who put them in that condition. And the saddest part is that these same suffering citizens are often used against other Nigerians who knows the truth. They are hired to fight, to rig, to silence, and then politician comes out smiling, telling us the election were free and fair. If there were opportunities in this country, no parent will be sending their children to school with almost 80% of their annual income, only to graduate and still sit at home with no jobs, still depending on the same parent to feed them. That is not the kind of country we deserve. And this is why some people complain that Peter Obi talks too much. They say he always talking, always criticizing. But the reality is that everything he says is true, and the truth always stings. Nigeria is a place where people suffer and laugh at the same time. People would rather continue in hardship than vote for the right person. And come election days, you see Nigerians selling their vote for peanuts, a bag of rice, a few thousand naira, or maybe a whopper. And with that, they smile into another 4 years of suffering. Meanwhile, once these politicians enter office, the first thing they do is buy luxury cars, build mansions, fly private jets. They begin to live large, far beyond their salaries, and it is all funded by Nigerian money. They pile up debt the country cannot survive, they mortgage our children's future, and still you will see Nigerians praising them, defending them, and treating them like kings. But here is the painful truth. It is not just the leader destroying Nigeria, it is also the citizens who support and celebrate them. A thief can only keep stealing if the community looks away, and in Nigeria, thieves in power are comfortable because too many people allow them. That is why Obi's message is clear. Nigeria must wake up. Nigeria must stop praising thieves. Nigeria must tell the bad ones that they are bad and encourage the good ones that they are doing well. The country cannot survive on silence and praise for criminals. Imagine a Nigeria where politicians truly fear the people, where they know that they cannot buy votes, they cannot rig election, they cannot steal public funds without consequences. That is the Nigeria Peter Obi is pointing us towards. But it will only happen if Nigerians change, if we stop selling our votes, if we stop clapping for thieves, if we stop accepting suffering as normal. So ask yourself, will you keep praising the very people that put you in poverty, or will you stand up and say enough is enough? That is why you need to watch this Peter Obi powerful speech, and not just watch, share it. Let more Nigerians hear the truth. This is not the time to stay quiet. It is the time to speak up, because Nigerians cannot survive on praise for thieves. Nigerians will only survive when the people themselves say enough is enough. So as you are watching this, make sure you like this video, share it, and if you are just coming across this YouTube channel for the first time, let's spread the truth far and wide. So take a listen.
Everywhere I go, people say, how did we get here? What happened? What is happening? Every place you go is getting better except Nigeria. So what is happening in Nigeria? What you're experiencing in this country is cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years. It is leadership over the years, which all of us are contributed to. No single person contributed to it. Everybody, because while the criminality and the bad governance were going on, we were celebrating. Every other country of the world resists bad governance. But in Nigeria, it's celebrated. It's only in Nigeria that you become governor, local government chairman, and people see you obviously doing what is wrong and continue to praise you and tell you, Your Excellency, you're the best thing that has happened to everybody, even when you're doing the wrong thing. It's only in Nigeria that you borrow, you don't have a house, you don't have anything, and you become governor. And suddenly you build big house, buy all the cars with their money, even invite them for Thanksgiving with their bishop and everybody. They are singing and dancing with you when they should call police because they know you stole their money. And that is why I say you don't need to celebrate. We have a country that is going through difficulty. No country in the world will not go through what we are going today. When you have over 100 million people living in poverty, the highest in anywhere in the surface of the earth. Nigeria have more people living in poverty than China and India combined. These two countries combined is 2.8 billion. We are 200 million. But we have more people living in poverty than two of them combined. Nigeria, as of yesterday, had 18.5 million children out of school, out of which 10 million are women. The list is long. Nigeria has the highest unemployment today that is known in the surface of the world. We have 35% unemployment. When combined with underemployment, it's about 55 to 60%, out of which majority, 60 to 70%, are people, young people in their productive age doing nothing. At an age that is very critical for human beings to do something, Nigerians are idle. They're not doing anything. At that particular age. Parents now pay for their children to go to school, only to come home and live with them, and they're feeding them and everything. At age, people are supposed to leave their house now. They are living in their house with their parents because they have nowhere to go to. They have no job. UK will have problem. Our drug prevalence today is 14.9%, when the global average is 5.8%. So we double the global average. And most of them are young people. Everything that is wrong, stress level is worse, everything is going wrong. And nobody is seeing it. We are celebrating it. We're not doing anything. Rather, we're dancing. We're still enjoying when the country is sinking. Somebody mentioned about borrowing. Let me tell you, there's nothing wrong in borrowing. Absolutely nothing wrong. Every country of the world borrows money. Every country of the world borrows money. Every country. America is the biggest economy in the world. America owes almost 100% of her GDP as debt. China is the second biggest economy. It owes over 50% of her GDP as debt. Number 3 is Japan. Japan owes 230% of her GDP as debt. 230%. So as so many other countries, even Singapore that we celebrate owes 120% of its GDP. So if Singapore has 1 naira, they owe 120, 1.1 naira, 20 kobo. Norway that has the biggest sovereign wealth fund of 1.4 trillion, still owe 50% of its GDP. What is wrong in borrowing is when you borrow for consumption. If you borrow for production, it helps your economy. And because we talked about borrowing, I will show you where borrowing has worked. Several countries of the world where borrowing has worked. It hasn't worked here because you borrowed for consumption. The consequence today is that Nigeria is spending 90% of his revenue to service debts. When the average revenue you need to service debt should not be more than 25% of your revenue. But Nigeria, because you borrow for consumption, it's like a human being. If you go to bank today and borrow money, in order to do and farm, do agriculture, do industry, do everything, you'll be able to pay back. But if you borrow it for burial, you will not pay back. You have a problem. If you borrow it for birthday party, you have a problem. If you borrow it for wine carrying, you have a problem. So Nigeria borrowed for picnic is for consumption. And that is why we're having problems. Serious problems. To the extent that we will not survive it. It is that bad. If you borrow it for production, it will be different. The first loan we borrowed was in 1964. When we borrowed money under Tafa Balewa, he borrowed $82 million to build Kainji Dam to generate 760 megawatts of electricity. 1964, September 64. If you read the letter of the borrowing, he said, I'm borrowing to build this facility in order to create an economic development of my country. And the World Bank replied him and said, we are supporting you because what you are doing will go a long way in development of your country. 58 years after, Kainji Dam is still standing. The one we borrowed today, where is the Kainji Dam? Because it was borrowed for consumption. When Obasanjo left the government, his borrowing was every money we owed when Obasanjo left government was 3 trillion. Today, we are owing 58 trillion.
You see, at the end of the day, all Nigerians want is simple, good governance, leaders that we can trust, leaders that will not just think of their pockets, but think of the people and the future of this country. Because whether we like it or not, the future of Nigeria depends on the kind of leadership we accept today. Now, listening to Peter Obi, you can clearly see that what he's saying is not strange. It is what all of us already know deep down, that this system is full of deception, corruption, and dirty play. The painful part is not even that these things are happening. The painful part is how Nigerians themselves have turned to celebrate thieves instead of resisting bad governance the way other nations do. We now clap for people that steal from us. That is why the same cycle continues. And let me tell you, this thing Obi is pointing out about INEC and the politicians, it is not new. It has been happening for years. But what makes it dangerous now is that young people who are supposed to demand better are slowly getting tired. They are giving up, and that's exactly what these politicians want, for us to keep quiet and accept anything they throw at us. But we must not give up. If you look around the world, no country changed by keeping silent. People had to resist, people had to speak, people had to hold their leaders accountable. If Nigerians truly want a better future, then we must stop celebrating these same politicians that put us in this mess. It is the time to raise the standard. Stop clapping for failure. Stop defending thieves. Stop following leaders blindly because of tribes or religion. Start asking questions. Start demanding answers. Start believing that Nigeria can actually work if we put the right people in power. Because the truth is this. Politicians will change Nigeria for us out of pity. They will only change Nigeria when the people make it impossible for them to continue business as usual. And that is what Peter Obi is calling for. A mindset shift in Nigeria where people refuse to be deceived again and again. So my people, the choice is ours. Do we continue to celebrate thieves, or do we finally resist bad governance? The future is in our hands. This is Fem TV. If you believe in a better Nigeria, make sure you subscribe, like and share this message. Let's keep the conversation alive, because silence is what the corrupt ones want, and we refuse to be silent. So I'm going to be reading every comment. Make sure you drop your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to share this video. Let this video go viral and let it meet more people so that they can get to be enlightened. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.